There's one itty bitty teeny tiny little thing that is strongly restricting the freedom of Captain America, and it is his diving strike. Now, it's not the ability itself, it's what is the issue with this ability in game, and what I believe is a very, very simple developer overlook, and it is the fact that your diving strike is automatically bound to your melee button, and that when you go into the settings tab for Captain America, let's pull it up, let's go to Captain America, there is literally not an option to rebind the hotkey on your diving strike because it's quite literally not even in the settings. It's an ability that got left out of the settings. Like every ability in the game has a settings here, and it lets you change the hotkeys to your ability. But for some reason, diving strike auto defaults to the melee hotkey. So even if you change the melee attack or if you change the primary attack hotkey, both of these will still always make diving strike go off. So it's in a weird way meshed in with the melee, and it's like not its own ability, even though it is its own ability. And the reason why this is super bad is because there's two things. Let's say I hit someone twice. One, and I want to jump up and I want to throw my shield. Oh no, I diving strike. You can literally not throw your shield from like if you don't already know, you attack twice, you get shield throws. Like if you have your diving strike and it's not on cooldown, like let's see what happens. Let me use the diving strike real quick. And now let me get my shield throws. Now look what I can do. I can jump around and actually throw my shields, and there's so many times where I want to just jump and I want to throw my shield and not actually dive in, but because it's auto stuck to my melee key, I could never ever do that, and it really limits and restricts a lot of the plays I can do because it will always default to the diving strike, which is super annoying. And I really don't think this is intended in the game. I think it was just a slight overlook, but I don't get why this ability is automatically attached to your melee hotkey and there's not a settings to change the hotkey on it. That shit blows my mind. And now the second most important and probably most frustrating reason why this actually holds a lot of players back is because you can be up and, you know, you're Captain America, you're going to be meleeing, you're going to be auto attacking. That's basically the bread and butter, and that's what you do. So the thing with your diving strike is that since it's auto bound to the melee and there's no way to change it to a different hotkey, if any ability in the game, and there are so many abilities that will boop you up even just a little bit, like Invisible Woman, another Captain America hitting you with the shield, force bump, like there's so many abilities that cause you to go up in the air a little bit. And when you're auto attacking someone, you don't even see it coming, something boops you, you go up into the air, and then all of a sudden, like, let's say I'm like attacking somebody right here. What's gonna happen is I get booped up even though I'm auto attacking this guy, and then my I'm gonna be like right here, I get pooped up, and then, oh my god, my diving strike is automatically gonna go off and send me into God knows where, and that happens so freaking much, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Like, what are you gonna do? Just not auto attack because you don't want to go diving strike somewhere left? Like, I think it's so insanely ridiculous that they haven't fixed or patched this yet, and that's why I'm making another video about it, because this small little thing is really holding back a lot of Captain America players, because you should have the freedom to use which ability you want in a certain situation, but the way this ability is like hot-wired into the melee hotkey, it's always going to default to it, which causes you to be using it when you don't want to use it. If any little thing like a map boop jump or boop pad, whatever hits you, you're going to waste your ability. And two, you don't have the option to actually like jump and like throw your shields, which the game lets you do because I can jump and I can throw my shields. But when I have my diving strike, I can't throw my shield. I have to instantly go into a diving strike. And there's a lot of times where you don't actually want to do that and you want to save your diving strike, which is what I dislike about this little thing. And it's such an easy little fix. I'm surprised they haven't patched it yet. And I think once they do, Captain America is definitely going to feel a lot cleaner and a lot less clunkier. He still has a few other issues that I'm kind of like not digging about him. But in general, I think he's a really fun, really strong character to play. And then there's one more thing I wanted to mention on the diving strike. Okay, it's not the diving strike. I also talked about this in my last video, but with Captain America, you can hold your shield up, you can jump in the air, and when you're jumping, you can throw shields. When you're sprint jumping, if you don't have your diving strike, you can jump and throw your shields. But what I don't actually understand about his kit is why can I jump with my shield in a normal sprint, and why can I throw my shields in a normal sprint or in a sprint jump, assuming I don't have diving strike, I can still sprint jump, but for some reason you can't sprint and hold up your shield. Like it literally just doesn't work. Like as you can see, my shield gets deactivated whenever I'm in a sprint jump. And that's always like puzzled me. I don't get why Captain America has that restriction on his kit, because it doesn't make sense. You can do it in a normal jump. You can shield throw in a normal jump and a sprint jump. Despite the issue with diving strike, like I don't get why you can't jump in the air and hold up your shield. Like why does he have this restriction? If anybody has any feedback on that or knows about that, but I think if they just fix those two little things on Captain America without even like buffing his damage or anything, like he's already to me a pretty solid character, but he's definitely a little bit behind and lackluster compared to some of the other tanks. I mean, when you know how to play him and you play him well, he's a really amazing character and still super fun and super good at what he does. But those two things are like the biggest issues with this kit. There's a few other little bugs too. I'll go ahead and just tell you guys real quick before I end this video. So there's a little bug. If you're holding your shield up and you're walking backwards, sometimes you will take damage. I tried to replicate this earlier, but I couldn't. So maybe they patched that already. And then if you don't already know, be mindful that when you're sprinting, a lot of players like to actually have their sometimes. Okay, let me go to the settings real quick. There's people out there who think that you always want to be in your sprint mode with Captain America, and that is just absolutely not true. And actually, I'll probably do a more detailed video about this. But the thing with Captain America is that, yes, you do want to sprint a lot, but you have to be mindful that your sprinting actually cancels your shield throw. So if you sprint to try to throw a shield, you're basically canceling your own your own attack, and your shields will not throw off. There's ways to mitigate that. You can either hold your melee button, so that way the shields get fully out, and that's going to automatically take you and keep you out of the sprint without you taking your hand off the shift key. Or you can sidestep, or you can jump, or you can just go, see, like right there. I was actually trying to dive and strike. It just happened. But there's ways to mitigate that. And actually, you could do a lot more damage output by actually abusing that mechanic to kind of like get auto attack cancels off and increase your auto attack speed a little bit. But it is really hard to get the balance of it. Like I'm kind of doing it right now where I'm actually attacking super fast. But if you do it too fast, your auto attack isn't even connect and go off. So you have to be like really point blank in their face. And if they're even a little bit away from you, it gets really tricky with the time because you have to hold down on your melee button a lot longer. Anyways, guys, not trying to make this video super long today. That's it. The main issue that I can't believe the developers haven't fixed yet is this issue with diving strike. The second one is the shield jump. Come on, guys, what are we doing? And then also, if you're trying to play Captain America, just be mindful that your sprint is going to cancel your shield throws, and that includes the Thor shield throws too. Like literally, it's yeah. Just don't do it. Don't do it, guys. All right, have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile. I'll see you guys on the next one, and let's hope Cap gets his freedom back. Bye.